entire courtroom. Okay, recording just started. Yeah, okay. But it's the first time we could put an entire courtroom in virtual reality, and that was exciting because students could learn what went on in the courtroom. Also, there's what we call Learn and Earn app. We created that app as well. That was one of my projects where students could actually make money while they study. So that's kind of one of the things that we're busy with, right? Recently, what have we been up to? I created a framework for ECOWAS, the 15 countries, minus the 2 countries that were at the time experiencing coups, but we were in Togo last year to create an AI strategy for them to be able to use big data to predict, to do a lot of things, to harness big data across the countries from Ivory Coast, Nigeria, Liberia, Mali, everybody on that bed, from Abidjan to Lagos, to make sure that we can use big data to do a lot of things. So my strategy framework in that space currently sits with the World Bank, and we're looking at a way to implement it. But it was a 5-day engagement in Togo, in Lomé in Togo. And done some work in terms of looking at customer tweets, for Telkom South Africa. For the guys who don't know about Telkom, Telkom is like MTN or Etisalat or like Vodacom Nigeria, or something like that. We've done some work with Huawei in China, trying to use DeepSeek to integrate DeepSeek into trying to advise a young person. We call it AI Dad. That was an app. Then in South African contexts, I've done a lot of work in this because I'm based here with ABSA. If you are listening to me from the UK, that would be like Barclays, because Barclays was in a relationship with ABSA about 10 years ago before it ended. But we have Standard Bank. I've done some work with Standard Bank as well. Standard Chartered, if you're in Nigeria, it's called Standard Chartered in Nigeria. Then Banking Association of South Africa. But what we were doing is to speculate the future of banking, because even bankers themselves were a little bit on the edge. They wanted to know what the future of banking would be. Should it be? Is it going to be based on blockchain technology? What is going to happen to them? So we were talking about that. And then did some work for Meta as well. This is where startup companies are involved. I needed to bring this up because we are talking about careers for future. I believe startup is one of the big pillars of careers for future. We need to spin out companies, especially within African context. We need to spin a lot of companies. So Meta has something that is called Llama Impact Accelerator. I've been there to judge those startups. Also been on their AI summit in Dubai, and that was towards the end of last year. And recently, I am scheduled, today is 12th, so in the next 5 days, I would be assisting the South African Tax Authority, it's called the South African Revenue Service, to get them an AI strategy towards the future that they deserve. So that's kind of pretty much some of the recent things that I've been up to. So what are you going to expect here? I think your expectations will be dependent on how much you push, right? And I'll be interested in listening to your questions later, right? But then I think it's what I call AI o'clock, right? Like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, AI o'clock, right? How much time do we have before we are all decimated with AI? What do we need to do? Do we need to do more policies? Do we need to regulate it more? Do we even need to create more technologies for African context? All of those topics are on the table. So I'm relying on you, my audience, to be the ones to drive that conversation when I get there, especially within the broader African view. Then what is AI going to destroy in the next 5 years? I love this question because in my head, I know that in the next 5 years, academia will be disrupted heavily. I know it. Academics right now, some of them are even writing their papers with ChatGPT. And OpenAI is logging all of it. And very soon, they will release that data set and they would cancel out some papers that has been published by some people. So that will be a disaster, right? But we know operational jobs are also getting out of the way. So we can talk about that. That's some of the things you expect from this conversation. Then current efforts in my space, like I said, I've done a lot of work in skills development, products development, and commercialization of that product. I think as a continent, if we can make money, I don't know why I know the guys in private sector, they're never ashamed Private sector guys will say we want to make money. But the guys in government, not government, in academia, they usually say we don't want money. We're just doing it for the love of knowledge. I mean, come on, money is why you would want to. If you get money, you can save the world. But if you don't have money, then you can't even do anything. So I think that's the topic of commercialization, something that has been quiet in the academic realm. And I think something I would like to bring up to the forefront of our conversation to say, we now need to develop things and we need to commercialize those things. The showroom. So here I'm going to just be showing you an exhibition of our products from my team, things that I've created with young people that I've worked with over the years, some empire that I created on another side of things where things happen. Then speculations, what we should be focusing on, which speaks to the question, what should we be doing now, right? Okay, so in the chat window, please feel free to type anything that's going through your mind while I speak. At the same time, I'm just going to be keeping track just to see if there's something that you are typing that I'm not seeing yet. Okay. So I'll be switching my screens. Thank you, Olaide Olawuwo. I'm not sure if I got that right, but yeah. All right. So AI and applications. Remember I told you that I don't want to assume everybody here knows everything about AI. So let's quickly run through basics, very basics. I love to call AI machines with minds. In fact, I started up a company called Machines with Minds just because of this. When machines can prove to us that they have minds and they can decide things like humans would decide things, then we can regard those machines as very intelligent, as though they have minds, right? Just give me a second. Okay, so then we have, what can those machines do? Well, they sometimes do mundane tasks. Mundane things are things you do every day without even thinking about it. Things like you can see me, I can see you. That's computer vision, right? Formal tasks like proving theories in mathematics, expert tasks like, like an architect or being, AI had one of those systems from 1984 called MyScene that could diagnose people for medical conditions. So that would be something that machines could do, and we could regard them as intelligent. And the goal of AI is to be able to understand our language, natural language processing, robotics, move around our terrains, so that in case we have mining sector that is not safe, we can deploy AI there to go. AI cannot consume gas, cannot, even if one AI humanoid is destroyed, we can put another one. It's less than the price of life itself. So planning, AI can help us plan. Machine learning, AI can learn from our data, knowledge reasoning, thinking, computer vision, like I said, problem solving, game playing, like chess, AI game players that you would find from 1991 that defeated Kasparov. If you've been following AI from history, you know a lot about that. So that's the goal of AI. AI is just trying to give us a version of ourselves that's electronic. And where would you find AI? Well, in education, in business, in economics, in society in general, in healthcare, there's some AI in surgery you find there. Then in government, of course, governments in Africa don't have much of it, unfortunately. That's why we have a lot of corruption across the continent. Then you have warfare, which is not such a good application of AI, but if you've been following what's happening between Russia and Ukraine, you will see that most times drones are being used to deliver explosives and all of that. So that said, just pausing for a second to check at my chat window. I think everything is still all clear. Are we still good? Anyone who wants to say yes so that it's not just a long monologue? I can see yes there, Adiola. Thank you so much. Lady as well. Great, great. I'm a teacher. I can't speak to myself for 30 minutes. So I have to speak to my audience, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can see your messages in the chat window. Thank you so much. So I'll continue. So AI future careers. So this is the part where predictions are not often 100%, but if you look at the trend and what AI can do, especially since I am on the inside, I know what we do in creating these technologies, and we know when we create them, the people that we can lay off. So it's fair to like come forward and just tell you the things that I think everyone should be should be looking at for the future, especially within the context of every discipline, right? So let's look at it. If you are in any discipline, either you're in working class or you are still studying towards something, master's, PhD, or undergraduate study, and you're listening to me. If you're in humanities or social science, I think you can look at policies for AI and governance, right? I think for the future, that's going to be a big space where we are going to meet in Addis, Ethiopia. As African Union, we might invite our partners from China or from the United States to negotiate. What does AI mean for us? What is the beneficiation? How much do we benefit from it? And what, how much are they paying us in taxes in the continent, even if it's an agent that is working online? So if you're in philosophy or law, so if this is your expertise or major practice, I think in future you're gonna be one of those guys that I think someone is writing on my screen. Please check your pen if you were the one writing on my screen. I can see some, I think it must be someone with an admin, right? Yeah. So if you're in philosophy/law, legal profession, I think you'll be the ones we are going to trust with responsible AI for future. You'll be able to edit it. Abikoye. I think Abikoye is probably the person writing on my screen, right? And then you can also help us with AI ethics, right? If you're in law. If you're in education, which most people are in education, I think you would help us with AI enhanced educators and learning design. So you help us to design new curriculums and all of those nice things, work with AI engineers to create new platforms towards learning. If you're in linguistics and psychology, I think these guys are very important, the linguists. I think African languages are not nicely represented, not all of them, in the corpus that we have. AI cannot speak every African language as it stands. So I think someone in linguistics and psychology could help with things like architecturing. Chairperson, can we know who is writing? Because I think I think there are quite a number of people just dragging stuff on the screen now. Chairperson, can you please make sure not everybody is an admin that can do that? Can you see it on the screen?
We'll have a look at. Please go ahead. Even though
All right, great.
I'm not the chairperson.
Oh yeah. Oh, but the person handling the tech on the side, right? Because I can see some pen on my screen, right? I'm not sure if you all can see it or I'm the only one seeing it. Okay, so yeah, for the guys in psychology, thinking about language to write prompts for AI, human AI interaction. I'm sure some of you might have heard about brain-computer interaction. The guys in psychology will be able to help with that because currently we have technology in BC High where even people that are disabled could, in their minds, think and operate their phone from their thinking and be able to do things, a few things that they couldn't do before. Then if you're studying something like development studies, I think there's going to be a lot of work there. If you're an expert in development studies, if you're a town planner, I think social impact analysis will lie on your desk. We would like to know a lot of things using AI, what the future is looking like, death rate, birth rate, a lot of things that we could do with satellite imagery and all of that. And I'm just going to try a trick real quick to see if I stopped sharing and I shared again. Maybe these things on my screen are going to disappear. Boom, it's worked. All right. So yes. So continuing, engineers and computer scientists listening to me are thinking, okay, how about the future of career with AI? What are we looking at? Well, you're going to be the systems engineers. You're going to create more AI, more structures, more tools, more APIs, more agents, and all of those things, more models. Especially right now, if you're in that space, please try to gather some African data set, train your own models, have the license to your data set, and also kind of put out your API out there and make some money from it. If you are in management of commerce, I think you'll be the ones that are spinning out companies, AI companies. You can manage products. So I think if you work with the system engineers, you probably will be able to take 5 to 10 products and you agree on some benefits sharing agreement and spin out companies, and then you can help with the marketplace because you studied commerce and that's the space. You have the clientele, you have people that you can speak to. Then if you were studying finance and accounting, I think that you could look at, in the past, it used to just be quant. I worked in a bank myself as a quant. Those days when we used to do treasury bill reporting, yield curve, bond reporting, all of that. But then I'll tell you in the future, all of that will be mostly done with AI. And then if you're the person who can understand how that can be automated, that's something you can look at for the next 3 to 5 years. AI entrepreneurship, that's of course, that's a no-brainer. Every business that you see needs some AI integration. We are going to need people in that space. These are going to be basically people that did MBAs in business management qualifications, people that have run businesses before, who can learn a little bit about AI, not just the theory, not the too much of the technical aspects, but just the way it works. They could be able to take AI businesses into the market. And engineering and urban studies as well, you would have a lot of guys there designing digital twins for systems, and also guys that will be working on smart infrastructure and smart cities, right? Where you probably would have drones hovering in the sky, tracking crime, and all of those nice things that we can do with AI in the future. So it seemed like a lot that we can do in the future, but talk is cheap, right? Talk is cheap. So what I have decided to do is to show you an example of some of those things that we already do in my space, right? So I'm going to share another screen now that I have opened. Let's see. And on that screen, I'll demonstrate what I call the showroom, right? Okay, close. They always say in software business, never do a live demo, right? If anybody's working with software here, they know what I mean. Never do a live demo. You must have a video. Just so that if things don't work out, then you can always play the video. All right, please, can you confirm if you can see my screen? Somebody? Anybody? And that it has changed from... Great.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see your screen.
Thank you so much. And it had changed from the one I was having earlier on. All right. Good. I can see a lot of affirmation. So I have this website called Showroom, the GritLabAfrica.org. Like I said, GritLab Africa is that social project we had where I train a lot of Africans across several countries. And we are fascinated with creating a lot of technologies, but it's nice to curate them in a place where people can actually play with them, right? And see some of the work that we do, right? So if you scroll down a little bit on your screen, you will find it's like a little cigar lounge. I call it cigar lounge, where we were demonstrating how immersive an environment. If you're creating a virtual reality environment, augmented reality environment, or you're doing something in VR or whatever, and that, yes, so you can fiddle with that. And some of our projects are also here, and they're all live, which is beautiful. VR Courtroom is live as well. For the sake of this demonstration, I will just go to view all projects, and I will just demonstrate only one of the apps. Friends, colleagues, partners, all of these apps are live, and they are real life applications, which is going to speak to something I'm going to talk about later. We need to, in our pocket of spaces for the future, collaborate and create real life apps. On my side, I can design, I can create, I write research articles about it. So I'm good. For guys who are strong in ethics and everything else, we can talk about possible collaborations, right? So this app here actually just takes a photo of your profile on one of the social media and tries to estimate your credit rating, right? But I'm gonna pick something that is very relevant that most of you can relate to. It's called ESG scoring, right? ESG scoring. Let me pick this one, right? Let me just see to be sure that that's what is showing. Yes, that's what's showing, right? So real-time ESG scoring. In this ESG scoring, in the chat window, can somebody in the audience who has a company that they can tell me the website of their company, the location of their company, the name of their company, and the industry, only those 4 items, can they quickly pop it in the chat window so that I can use this AI tool to show it? This is one of our AI products in the space. Anyone that is very quick at typing? While you type, I will just quickly do for Grit Lab, which is something that is our own project, education and training. I will say generate, it's real time. Yes. So a part of the future is we have to create more than we used to as Africa, right? Great. So Grit Lab Africa is rated 8 out of 10 ESG scoring. ESG is environmental impact. Then we have things like social impact, and then we have governance of the organization. It's a good way that multinationals are evaluated so that they can have access to resources around the world. Accountants and folks, they know a lot about this. So as you can see, the longest bar here is social because Grit Lab is an NGO or NPC. So it shows social there. Environmental, we're not so strong on environment, so I could understand the scoring of a 7. Governance, we're just about 3. I'm the founder, but I have 2 co-directors, so that's understandable. But the beautiful thing about this is because we're using AI, we are able to ask AI itself why it's rated us, what it's rated us, right? And we can see all the answers there, right? So that is fine. I will move on with my presentation. I have seen someone from Lesotho. Pabalo. Pabalo is my previous MBA student in the chat window. Thank you. I've seen those companies. When we have time towards the end, I will definitely put those companies on this. Pabalo, congratulations. You just finished your MBA just now. Yeah.
Thank you, Prof.
Yes. So that said, I'm going to go back to the presentation that I had and just wrap it up now, right? Let's see. Great. So, yeah, I'm going to share the screen now. Where are you? Yes. I think it's about to be a great conversation as well going forward. So I know you can see my screen again. You've seen the showroom, right? In case you want to fiddle with the showroom, there are about 30 or 40 applications there. There's a QR code on your screen. Please, by all means, scan it, play with it, and then write to me and tell me what you'd like us to collaborate about or collaborate on, right? All right. So now to the beautiful question of what should I be doing now? Like I said, I won't say I know everything, right? I've not been to the future. I wish I had. I wish I had taken a time travel machine and gone to the future and known how everything turns out. But this is my speculation. So I think first, all the wicked problems, we need to solve all of them. So whatever AI is in front of you, I think you need to focus on a career that involves solving wicked problems. Some people simplistically call it problem solving, but I just say solve wicked problems, right? Wicked problems are things like cancer, for example, things like unemployment, if you look around you, there are many things like poverty. There are so many wicked problems around. If AI could help you to solve wicked problems, I think you would have been doing a good thing in the world. There's no way you'll be out of touch There's no way the world is going to push you aside. With AI, you need to solve wicked problems. Even mental health is part of wicked problems. Why are all those young people that we see joining rebel groups, why are they becoming suicide bombers? Why are they becoming terrorists? Why are folks shooting up schools? All of those questions, those are good whys. If you're one of those guys that can solve those problems, I think that would be good, right? Then craftsmanship, that one is quite straightforward in AI and applications. Learn the tools of your domain. So right now you can use ChatGPT, you can use other things, but please, if you're in architecture, look at many tools online, and I've fiddled with a few of them where you could actually set up 3D designs so that your clients could see them. There are many things that are possible you can do if you're in healthcare. You can take even your patient's complaints or what's it called? That thing, consultation notes. So when your patient is in front of you, you're a GP, you're a general practitioner in a hospital or something. Sit across to your patient, you listen to them. When they go blah 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 blah, you use AI to listen to it. You transcribe it from a local language into English. You analyze where they were stressed and where they were not. Then you're going to be one of the top doctors around. So we need to build craftsmanship or craftwomanship. I'm not trying to be gender specific in AI, right? 3, mind. I think if we ended up without our own reasoning, I think we're going to be in trouble for the future. So I think everyone listening to me needs to understand that we need first principle. We need to still have our knowledge. We need to have sense, what Nigerians like to call sense, right? We still need sense. We need to be able to think so that the days the machines do not do well, we can easily pick it up, that the nuance is different, the context is different, and we can be able to audit those machines and probably even come up with more ethics for those machines, right? So our mind, especially for the guys we're training, we must train them without machines sometimes just to check that they still have minds. And finally, police. Who is going to police the entire AI? I think we need guys in ethics, social security for the future, the guys that will be displaced without jobs. It is my prediction that in the next 5 years, humans will protest on the street that machines took their job. For those humans, we need to be able to feed them. So how do we write a contract for the top tech companies, right? And they can pay us some heavy taxes to feed our people. Otherwise, we will be in trouble, right? Policies and regulations, you know how that goes, right? Okay, so that's about career. However, if you're listening to me and you're still in a university setup, you're still studying some more, I can see a chat in the chat window. Let me just quickly have a look. What's going on there? I'm almost done now. Sunday Oladipo said that. By the way, when I say your name, if you're doctor, chief, something, I apologize. I'm just reading it out the way I see it in the chat window. So I apologize if your title is not included in what I'm saying, right? So in training, so if you are still getting trained, you are still an undergrad, you're doing your master's, you're doing your PhD, I would like you to just look at this. I can assume your discipline is one of these ones on the right-hand side, right? And for the future, I would like you to move towards the left as far as you can move, right? For the future, I think everybody here needs to understand logic, because if you don't understand logic, then it will be difficult for you to even prompt ChatGPT the right way, right? Logic is very essential. Logic is the bedrock of everything. Ability to think logically, right? Then, if you are curious, like me, you probably want to go more into 4R terrain and knowledge. And here there are more things in fourth industrial revolution that does not even involve AI. There is 3D printing, there is blockchain technology, there are things that are happening in that space that you might want to have a look at, right? Just to have knowledge of it, just to read about it. Finally, off-the-shelf AI tools. That's what I was talking about before. All of us need to be craft men and women in that space, be able to use AI in our spaces, right? Then, if you are really ambitious and if you are from architecture and design, what I've done here is see I've color coded it. So this color here that looks a little bit like orange, I'm not sure if this is orange. They say men are very bad at colors. I'm not sure. But you could see this color is the same color as this one. So architects, I expect you for the future to be able to do virtual reality, augmented reality design, have metaverse designs. I think for the future, that's where architects should be, right? Guys in design. The guys in healthcare and education should be able to go into data science easily, right? You can tell me you're in healthcare, you've done statistics before, and you're afraid of data science. You also cannot say to me you're in education, you have all this data of student performance, curriculum, and you cannot learn data science. So I think that'll be okay, right? Then for commerce, business, engineering, and science, I think those guys can easily jump into algorithms. They can jump into web, mobile app development and spin out startup companies for our young people. They can also, train new models, especially the guys in engineering. They can train new models. And this thing I drew here is based on my experience because I have been in this space for some time and I've trained in this space.
Prof,
Yes,
we
wrapping up.
yeah, okay. Can you do that in 5 minutes so that we can then take? Oh, sorry, I didn't see reflection and conclusion.
Absolutely. I'm
Please
actually
go ahead.
getting there. Yes, absolutely. I'm wrapping up now. So reflections and conclusions, I'm wrapping up. If any one of you have your phone and you can quickly scan this QR code, please let me know what you think of this presentation, the things that stand out for you. I promise to send it to the chairperson to circulate around for the people that are connected to the call. It would be nice to see how you think of it. I don't want to stay on the slide for too long, but if you can scan it, you find a link and then it will ask you a couple of questions, right? And then if you want to read more about career advisory with AI, in fact, this year in 2026, I wrote an article about it and that app is still in the showroom where we had an AI that could advise you about future career directions, but within that spectrum that I showed you. And I didn't even need 5 minutes, actually, Chairperson. I actually was close and I am done. Eshungo, I'm very grateful. I'm done. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof, for that very insightful presentation. Can we give virtual applause from wherever we are? Nagode, thank you.
Nagode, Eshun. So no days well. Nagode to say Eshun. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof.
You do Odima.
Before we start the interactive session, I just want to inform those on call that, of course, Paul will be sharing his slides with us. I will be sending them to you by email. That's one. We'll also be sharing on our website later. Apart from that, this video is, the presentation is being recorded, or this session is being recorded rather. Links to where you can download that will also be made available. We're also going to share that on YouTube. Now, there are some people who have joined us on Facebook. If you are listening in on Facebook, we won't be able to take your questions on Zoom. So you can type your questions on Facebook and we'll pass them to Prof to answer, or your questions or comments. I'll just make them brief, pass that on. So if you have questions, you have contributions, so that we can call you and then continue.
Yes, and I'd like to hear some voices, of course. So don't just type them. You can actually unmute yourself and say a few things. I see in the chat room, let me start with a chairperson through you. If I can read out some of the questions in the chat window, is that okay?
Please go ahead. I'm the moderator. I'm not the chairperson.
That's the same. For this setup, you are the chairperson. I'm just saying. You're chairing the session. All right, it says, greetings, Prof. Abejide. I want to come into the form of policy on AI development. I'll ask, how do we mitigate against errors in AI? Error starts with data. But wait, let's see the rest of it. Google business profile, what's when there is an, oh, I see. I see. Yes, okay, I think I'm going to call everybody professor just in case I'm calling someone Mr. that was a doctor. So Professor Ademuyiwa Ahmed, I think that these top tech giants try to mitigate for situations where things could slip through the crack. So they tighten up their security more than they should. In fact, sometimes your profile on Facebook could be blocked because you said something that was not sensitive, but the algorithm said it was sensitive. And before someone could review it, then they just blocked you. So I think as long as machines will be the ones looking at what is acceptable and what's not, you would have false positives, right? So this is a false positive situation. If it happened to you, I'm sorry about that, but I would like to tell you that they would rather have false negatives than they would rather be safe than sorry. Let me put it that way in plain terms. Yeah, that's my response to that. I'll read another one. Can you share
Yeah,
the
Prof.
URL to the site? Yes, please go ahead.
We have Mr. Olaide who is raising his hand. So well, you can take his
Yes,
question or
let's
comments.
take his question. Absolutely, yes.
So Mr. Olaide, you have the floor.
Olaide. Sir, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, okay. Good afternoon. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Good afternoon to you.
Okay, thank you. So my questions speak to the fact that you encourage us to build a model ourselves. So the question would then be for some organization that are working and also have access to quite a lot of data. Now, you did advise that we should do as much as building our own model. So the question is, what's our possibility around having that roadmap of leveraging on the data that we have to build a model, knowing that that speaks to our peculiarity as Africa. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I love that question, Mr. Laide. I think we need to. It's a necessity. Otherwise, we just leverage another data set, models built on them. And there are a lot of gaps in those models. Sometimes they don't understand our context. For most times, they don't understand our context. And within that setup, I think you need young people in that picture. You need to train them how to load up data sets, clean them up, make sure the data set is clean, and then train some models on it. From as simple as regressional models to some things that are deep learning models. I think we need to. If you're private sector, I think you can invest in that. If you're a university or a learning institution, I think you can apply for funding towards such projects. If you're government, of course, I think that should be your responsibility for the future. And you can partner with private sector because private sector is a lot faster. Private sector is fast in terms of these things. So I support that view. We need to build our models, right? And in building those models, we need to get our data set collected clean and neat. I know also data collection for us is something that is very cumbersome and sometimes it's very inaccurate. So I don't want to pretend like it's an easy task. I was having a conversation with Uber AI recently where we were looking at going into 4 African countries, Egypt, Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa. And what we're looking at as well in that context was to collect, languages and to automate more languages and make sure that we have the corpus for languages and those languages can be spoken by AI in those countries. So I think it's a responsibility that currently it's a big deal. It is a big deal right now. And that's one other product as well we can sell to the West because the West, the models sometimes are better, fine-tuned. But then if we have unique data set, I think they would still speak to us. I see Professor Ahmed Ademuyiwa's hand is up. Sir, please go for it.
Thank you very much, Sir Professor Abejide. I'm very grateful for giving me this audience. I was the one with the question. So I would also, it's where I work as a social media manager at the company that I manage the profiles. So that's when we have this challenge. But I need to probably look for an expert right now to get the page, to lead the suspension. I've been on it for quite some time. I've appealed, I've done that. I couldn't just get it I need to get the suspension off the page. So I need probably a contact, maybe like a Google expert or something. I couldn't get anyone recently.
Yes, I think you can write to me and we can look at the context because sometimes and which it's Facebook, right?
No, it's Google-based profile.
Yeah. So we have I know people that are at Google itself and they are top people. They can help me channel the query down, down the chain of command. We can look at how that is the case, because sometimes to you it might look like it's nothing, but to them there's just this thing that is blocking that's blocking what you're trying to do. And the channel belongs to someone else, right? Not to you. You're an agent.
I am the social media manager. It's the company that I work. It's a real estate
Oh,
company.
yeah. So, and that company does not have any negative footprint anywhere in the internet or something like that.
No, sir. No, sir.
Good. So I think we need to talk then. I'm happy to use some of my links to see what to further probe that issue. Because if you're writing emails to them and they're not responding, then that could be a problem. And you're a private company, right? You're private.
Yes, sir.
Also, because you're private out of Nigeria, I'm Nigerian. I'll tell you, they discriminate Nigerians a lot. And sometimes, yeah, it's just the case, unfortunately, on the internet. Sometimes it's legitimately so because of what some of our brothers have done. But some other times it's just very unfair because of what you and I are trying to do. So it is just the problem that we face right now. But I can push that. I can move things around a little bit in that space.
Sir. So I should get a number from the coordinator.
Yes, and my email address is also something you can write to me. Let me just key. Send me a personal message on the Zoom before we finish so that I can respond, and then with my personal email address. Yeah,
Okay, sir.
and we can follow. Or you follow me on LinkedIn. I think that one is also better, whichever one.
Same name, Professor Abejide.
Yes, Abejide Ade-Ibijola on LinkedIn. Abejide Ade-Ibijola. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, Professor Ahmed Ademoyo. I like that question because it speaks to fairness in AI. If AI discriminates a particular group of people, Nigeria, we are 230, 240 million now, we're not sure. And it's a big African market. And if AI discriminates us, is something that we need to investigate, right? That's an important topic. It's the same thing that people from the Middle East feel at times when AI discriminates them.
Prof, we have two questions in the chats. Do I read them
Yes.
out or you want to go through them yourself?
I see. Please read them out on your side.
Okay. Good afternoon. One is from Professor Mr. Ikani Uchidi. Good afternoon, Professor Abejide. Please, what is the solution to AI hallucinations?
Well, you see, when AI, yeah, that's a good one. I mean, that's one of the places where we are going for the future. I think what's worse than hallucination is a future where we achieve complete autonomy, right? I'm sure that you've seen two unique cases in the last 1 year where AI was encouraging a boy to commit suicide, and AI was also trying to blackmail one of its creator, right? If anybody is listening to me that knows about those cases, they will tell you that was the case, right? And I can see the hand of Sir Gideon Isaac is up. I'm going to come to you now. I think we just have to get better, right? We have to get better. But the problem with AI is you cannot shut it down. You can just go back and think of how we dealt with internet. When internet came, there were a lot of things, fraudsters on the internet. Prince of Persia, Prince of Priest, Nigerian prince, all these princes sending us something to click. If we clicked it, we were in trouble. Our whatever was taken. But in terms of AI as well, we need guys to police this thing. If you remember, in my presentation, I mentioned policing. We need serious people that understand how AI works. We can police hallucination, police all of those things, flag those things at a very early stage so that we can then send researchers and engineers back into the room to fix these things. I think that's all. But I'm not going to sit here and promise you that everything is all merry and everything is all fixed and everything is perfect. That's not the case, right? So that's what I would say. And that said, I think I'll go to Sir Gideon Isaac Odia. Odia, that sounds like Benue, right? I'm not sure if I'm right.
Hi, good evening, and thank
Good
you very
evening.
much for all the enlightening that you've done today.
Mm.
Otia is actually from Delta State. I'm so
Oh,
delighted.
Delta. Delta.
Yeah,
I've been to Abraka before. Where in Delta are you from?
I'm from Uriabraka, actually. And I grew
Nah,
up in the
I've
city,
traveled to
actually.
Nigeria far and wide. I know Abraka.
Oh, wow, that's so
Mm.
nice. I graduated from State University.
Desu. Is that
Yeah.
Desu, right?
No, I mean Ekiti State University. So I grew up in
Oh,
Ekiti.
Anadwekiti. Okay, that's my hood. Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
hood. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
All right, thank you. I'm so impressed with the initiatives that you and the team brought forward to enlighten Nigeria about AI. But my major concern is that Nigeria, or should I say Africa, are not joining the race for AI development. Why?
Mm. Funding
And secondly,
and
I'm
skills. Yeah.
saying that there are a lot of investments that are going on in the economy, but
Mm.
it seems like our government is neglecting the place of AI. And I am so afraid that we are going to be so behind if we don't
Mm.
join the train. Can there
Mm.
be a way that the government can be sensitized to invest in this sector? I work with an
Yeah.
AI company, Micro One.
Mm.
It's from San Francisco in America. And I see the
Mm.
way they are always pushing forward. They are recruiting from Nigeria. And
Mm.
checking the statistics, the number of Nigerians in that company is somehow
Mm.
like more than more than 5,000. 5,000
Mm.
Nigeria in that AI space. And I
Mm.
see talents that are being wasted or that is being underused or that is even undervalued by
Mm.
Western cultures. They
Mm.
recruit us basically because they know that if they are paying Americans $50 per hour, I can assure you that they will pay Nigerian $15 per hour. That's
Mm.
how crazy it is.
And in Nigerian
Working
probably
in
will
the
still
space.
celebrate. We will still
And
probably
I'm
celebrate it because it's
celebrating it. It's not that we see, I am one of them celebrating it. But it dawned on me that
of
can we
course.
actually personalize this? Is there a
Mm.
way that
Mm.
Nigerian can put forward? Is there a community that can put
Yeah.
forward that, okay, this is the area that Nigeria wants to invest in AI? And let's
Yeah.
build something for ourselves. Let's call it our own.
Mm.
I can assure you that only
Mm.
few AI companies are hiring from Africa. Nigeria per
Mm.
se, because they have this their bias or let me say second thought about Nigerian. Is
Yeah,
there a
yeah,
way that
of
our
course.
government
Of
can
course.
change this? Is there
Mm.
a way that the
Great.
youth can stand up?
Great, great. Gideon, let me come in now, right? So that bias they have, if you ask yourself, why don't they have it about Ghanaians or Ethiopians? You might actually find that that bias is also founded in the experience of us, right? We're the fastest black nation in the world. And speed for us sometimes is not always clean, you know. Sometimes our people do things in a funny way, right? So I can understand that part, right? So anybody can be biased. Nigerian will still come on top. Uh, any day when the camera is low rolling, a Nigerian will still show up and get things done. So let me go to your original question. Why are we not investing in AI? That was your question, right, Gideon? Gideon, I will tell you now. How much investment do we have in nuclear weapons? Gideon, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. But when it comes to nuclear weapon, I think I have some reservation.
No,
I
no,
heard
no,
about
wait, wait,
this
wait, wait.
law.
Wait. Nothing defends you right now in the world than a nuclear weapon. It's the greatest defense. The answer to that is there is none, right?
There is none. Yeah,
As
yeah.
a nation with our budget, our national budget, and with our growing population, the things we invest in are things that can feed our people, curb insecurity, or even solve for insecurity. We still have Boko Haram giving us a lot of problems in that space. And investing in AI right now can only be through private partnerships. We need to encourage all these companies that are growing very fast, that have the resources, or companies that are coming from Europe into Nigeria. We need to strike good deals through the office of our Ministry of Innovation and get investment into that space you want. But I'll tell you now, we don't have the resources to just put $100 million in that space. We don't. We don't. I mean, you can read the national budget yourself and see it. So we don't. So that's your first question, and I shared your sentiment on that ground, right? As per the paying us less, I was on the consortium and we were actually working on a budget, and it involved Nigerian postdoctoral fellows. And Nigerian postdoctoral fellows, they were living in the UK. And when the budget was done, I just felt it was fair. If this postdoctoral fellow was going to do the same work in London, and the other postdoctoral fellow was going to do the same work in Lagos, they should earn the same thing. But this was about 3 years ago, and I realized I was so naive because what they told me was, no, look here, the one in London lives in London. The pound sterling moves differently, it's more expensive. The one in Lagos can save more money. So we're going to pay him that $15 you mentioned. The one in London is going to get $50, right? Just the same way you staged it. So I think sometimes I want you to look at context of payment, right? And people in human resource will tell you, when they poach you from another employer, they pay you more. But when you come back for the job and you're not really, then they pay you what they want to pay you. So I think getting paid a huge amount of money is also kind of proving that your value is more and you have more options. Some people even get offered more money when they are stepping outside of the door. So that's how payment goes. I think in that space, I've had a lot of experiences there. I can tell you, the more value goes up, the more payment goes up. And that's just how I see it, brother.
Yeah, Prof, thank you. We are getting short of time, so we'll just take two more
Yes.
questions.
Let's
There
take
is
like
one.
maybe two more questions. Let's see folks that have not spoken that might want to say one or two things.
There
Tonight,
is a pending. There's a
uh-huh.
pending question in the chats,
Yes.
which is from. So I can't see the name here. Just a minute.
No worries.
Yeah, from Professor. Since you say everyone's a professor here today,
Yes,
Professor
everybody's a professor. Yes.
Abdulaziz Lawal. Good
Yeah.
afternoon, sir. Please, how can AI literacy go viral to mitigate the fear about AI and enhance how people adopt it much earlier than most of these apps? Since most of these apps are free, I think that's what it's saying. The case
Oh,
study of
great.
a finance company in Hong Kong, the ethics guiding the use of AI. Then he also said AI deepfake. I'm both terrified and excited with the potential of AI deepfake. So that's his question.
Yeah. So I think he's asking how can we roll it out in a form of short learning program, form of training for our people. I think that would depend on the organizations, right? On my side, I already have efforts in that space. In fact, before the end of February, I'm rolling out another training module, which is AI and practical applications for Africa. It's free. If anybody's following me on LinkedIn, they will find it when I roll it out. You can take it, but it's also going to show you all of those AI tools and what you can do with them, and then kind of integrate it in towards the purpose of either starting up a company or something like that. So I think the short answer is if you are an organization, then you need to make that plan to roll out a form of training, yearly training for your employees. If you are not, then you have to get on Coursera, check what's out there, what you want to take. If you want to be technical, if you want to take AI for everyone, something that is a little bit more simplistic, something that you can use on your daily quest to understand AI. So I think there are efforts in that space, many efforts in that, and I personally have my own efforts in that space to make sure everybody can understand what AI is about. Professor Chairperson, I'm having fun
Thank
now.
you. Any other question? There's
Going
no
once,
pending
going
question in the
twice.
chat.
Chairperson, please allow me to appreciate my students that are here and my previous PhD students that are now senior lecturers or associate professors that are here. Anita Sukari, Dr. Anita, I can see you there. Thank you for coming, joining the meeting. I have seen Pabalo there as well. If I forget you, I think there are about over 90 people at some point. If I have not mentioned your name, apologies for that. Well, thank you for always following and sharing in these conversations. I see Desiree Wahid. I think you're from UJ. Desiree? Des, can you hear me? I think that's a UJ name, University of Johannesburg. I think so. And for other friends that have joined, thank you so much for joining this conversation. Yeah. Chairperson, the mic is yours now.
Thank you so much. Well, we have a hand raised. Mr.
Oh,
Olaide,
good.
we'll just give you 30 seconds because you asked a question before. So you have the floor. 30 seconds, Mr. Olaide, please.
All right. So I think part of my question that I asked earlier is, of course, essentially to look around that speak to the infrastructure that can help us to leverage in building the our
Yeah.
model.
Yes.
So do you have an existing one or that you can recommend, because it's very key to
To growth.
customization of building to some of these
Yes.
assets that we have?
Well, in my space, I have some machines. I wouldn't say I do not, but then I think if you want something local, I've heard about Data Science Nigeria. I think it's DSN. Those guys are moving also very fast in that space. I was with them a while ago when they had this Indaba, Data Science Indaba, I think it was called 2023 in Oko, at Thomas Adewumi University in Kwara State. And I think this year they're having it again. And the Vice Chancellor in Oko has already reached out to me, Professor Francisca Oladipupo, and she said to me, we have to support these guys, and we're supporting DSN. I think that you might want to ask that ecosystem. They might have a lot of infrastructure in-house because those guys are moving very fast. However, if you want to charge forward yourself, I think you need to speak to private sector, give them proposals, and you could just tell specifically the kind of machines you want, why you want them, even just data lakes, just having data lakes and having some servers going and training some models on top and making it available to the public. I think a lot of guys in Nigeria are already doing a lot of work, actually. That's what I learned.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you for the insightful presentation, for the way you interacted with everyone who has asked questions. And so next on the agenda is we're presenting an award, and that will be done by the chair of our board of trustees, or the chair of our advisory board, rather, Professor Adesina Sodia.
That's
Prof,
why
you have.
that's why you didn't want me to call you chair. I see now.
Yeah, well, I'm just the director of protocol. I'm just moderating.
Yes,
We
yes, I
still have
see.
Professor Sodia, we have Professor Awodele.
I see
So
that.
we have the
Thank you,
secretary too here.
Bashirat Bango. Yeah, thank you, guys. For everybody saying thank you on the chat window, I'm going to scroll and try to like or react to your post. Thank you so much, guys. Professor Shoji Ababa, Ojihida.
Ojú mi nìyí.
Baba.
Let me start by appreciating our wonderful brother. It's indeed a privilege to have number one AI person in Africa, with us. The first time I spoke with him about this program, he just said, give me a few minutes, I will get back to you, and he immediately accepted to be part of this event. Professor Abejide, we are really grateful. We thank you so much for coming around, and of course, for accepting to be part of this event. Our members in PAIDeF and our people, our AI enthusiasts in Nigeria, we wish to continue to have connection, relationship with you. And I also believe that that's the only way you can also contribute to what is going on in Nigeria. People today have talked about the need for us to be committed to AI development in Nigeria. Other countries are doing more. We are not doing enough. And I think that is also one of the reasons this group was put together, so that we can come together and also champion the way forward in terms of AI development in Nigeria. So we will continue to, we want you to be part of us. We have started the discussion. We have started many discussions, and we'll continue to interact and ensure that we'll get your contributions towards developing AI in Nigeria. Well, on this note, I also want to appreciate the participants, all the people that have come to attend this event. If you're attending this event and you have not joined this group, PAIDeF, we also want to invite you to be part of this group so that together we can actually develop AI in Nigeria. One of my assignments this evening is also that, Professor Abejide, this group might not have a lot of money to give, but we appreciate you more than
Wúrà àti fàdákà, ẹ̀yin ò ní.
wúrà àti fàdákà, ìyàwó ni. We appreciate you more, and of course, we have a certificate to present to you. It's going to be virtual and it's going to also be sent to your mail. The certificate is being shared. It is our AI Stellar certificate. And just know that you are the top AI Stellar that we have saying that you have recognized in PAIDeF. We appreciate you, and of course, yes.
Prof, sorry, it's not just a certificate, it's an award.
Oh, yes, it's an award. Yeah, okay.
Okay. That's good.
It's AI Stellar Award. And of course, we want to project it. We want you to show to people in South Africa and all your colleagues that you have also won another award in Nigeria. And a well-deserved award. And also to show that we are indeed very proud of you.
Yes, and Baba, and I permit folks to let me say this in my language. Baba, nǹkan ń sọ ni pé ọ̀nà ló jìn ẹrú ní baba. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We'll continue to. So, we thank you so much, and I will send this officially to your email.
Yes, sir.
We send it officially to your email. Thank you so much, and of course, we are going to. I think the president of PAIDeF is here. Since Professor Abejide is our own, he should also be a member of this group. Well, I don't think I have power to do that, but President, maybe when he's rounding up, he will be able to pronounce you as a member, and all other documentation can be done later. We need people like you so that you can continue to encourage us, provide support for this group. Because our focus is AI development, AI for development in Nigeria. Thank you so much, Professor Abejide, once again. And the moderator, thank you so much for the work you are doing.
Thank you, Chairperson. Finally, I can use the word Chairperson very formally. Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Professor Shodia. Just a word from me, Prof. Shodia, you one of the men that have gone ahead of us in computation. Thank you for providing a safe space for the growth of the likes of me. Because of course, I wouldn't say it's every day I find a man like you that also promotes the young people to come behind and become professors and to grow and still be in touch with us. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I hope anybody listening to me who is an academic who is also growing can leverage on you and the infrastructure you've built, and on myself as well. We are always happy to support and build first Africa together, and then our individual countries as it stands. Thank you, Baba.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We'll take a short remark from the president before taking the closing remarks. So, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, the moderator. Thank you, our guest speaker. Thank you, our dear participants. It has been great. And I believe President has said it. Your membership number will be sent to you after the whole documentation. We want to appreciate you and plead that when next we call on you, please don't hesitate. We are grateful. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Thank you, sir.
Before taking the closing remarks, I want to remind you that we are going to be sharing his slides and also the recording of this video. We are going to be sharing it to you via email. You'll also be able to view it on YouTube. Our past programs, including the other 2 years that we've had, they are also on YouTube and also on our Facebook page. We'll be sharing others on Twitter and also on LinkedIn. So before we go, we'll lastly be taking closing remarks from Professor Martins Irebude, the Director of Research and Innovation of PAIDeF. Professor Martins, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
I'm glad to meet you. Let me turn on my camera so that I
Yes,
can see
I
you.
can see you there. Yeah.
All right. Just
It looks
a
like
few
we're
words.
connected on LinkedIn, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You look familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to highlight education, learning, I think it's very important that we emphasize this because AI, the consciousness is there right now, and I'm glad that is everyone is interested. In as much as it's good, we should also know that there's something about autonomy in AI. So we should be very careful. Policy drivers should be mindful of this and also ensure we learn and learn. We can never know too much about this. It's important to create this consciousness and let it continue and take charge. Let's not leave the AI on its own. Let's take charge and be in control. Let's remember it's artificial intelligence is actually modeling the human capacity. So
yes.
So let's be ahead of that. So thank you so much, Prof. I'm glad
you, sir.
to. All
So,
right.
so your words are golden because I asked someone a while ago, which is what you are saying now. How do we expect machines to be so good and kind when humans are so horrible? And we train the machine on the human data. So
Exactly.
that's what you just said too as well. Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you. Let's collaborate.
Yes.
Great Love Africa. Which institution are you with in Nigeria?
Nigerian Defense Academy.
Good. Well, that's even one of NDA.
Yes.
In Kaduna?
Yes,
Kaduna?
that's
Okay,
correct.
yes,
Correct.
Kaduna, yeah.
Yes.
So please, I think I need to talk to you as well. We need NDA, we need because here in South Africa, I work with the South African Defense Force, right?
That's
I do
fine.
projects with the military and all around,
Yes.
also focusing on AI. So, sir, we need to talk. We need to look at
No problem. I'll reach out on LinkedIn.
Absolutely, sir. Now we will share emails and phone numbers afterwards.
Thanks so much.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Just before we call it a day, can we, show our faces, show our videos so that we can actually
take a group photo?
Virtual group photograph.
A group photo will be good. Yes, a group photo will be good. Yeah. Thank you to everybody that joined. I'm seeing everybody's faces now.
Right. Okay. We take the first. Please don't turn it off yet. So we're taking page by page. We have quite a number of us here. We'll take snapshot for those who are on Facebook. We have quite a number of people who have also joined us on Facebook. Okay, so that's page 1. Please hold on.
You're not even showing your face, Anchor.
Oh.
Yes, we need to see your face.
Wọ́n ní ẹni bá fẹ́ dáṣọ fún ni tọrọ ẹ̀ lákọ́kọ́ wò.
We have a number of people here who haven't shown their faces. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, well, we'll take a screenshot of their names if their faces are not showing.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for attending. We look forward to those who are not yet members to become members pretty soon. We'll be sending you emails, like I said, where you'll be able to join and also download some of things we've done. So thank you and have a nice evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are.
Wherever you are. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Thank you to the organizers and everybody. We hope to continue the conversation. Thank you. Salute.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Eshion.